We just witnessed Sundowns reclaiming the top spot in the Premier Soccer League. Obviously, it was expected. Sundowns are one of the strongest team in the PSL, if not the strongest team. They won like how many 8 league titles in a row. Now they're chasing a ninth one. The good thing for them is that a new guy scored, Brian Leone scored a second goal. And also Mshishi. Experience is very important. That's why teams must sign Xola Mlambo. Still available, guys. When I look at this Orbit College, you have Xola Mlambo in the middle of the park. If you want Xola Mlambo's number, DM us. I'm gonna give it to you. We're not gonna ask him a lot of money. 80,000, it's okay, around there. 80,000 to 100,000. We'll negotiate the signing on fees. Honestly speaking, teams like Orbit College, if you have experience, is very key. Look at Mshishi when he came in. That pass, it just gives you that you need experience. And Ramashan Patelefo, it's been a good addition for Orbit College. I'm not gonna say that because he's my friend. But you can see, I mean, there was a goal that was coming in. He saved it. They did the right thing by signing Ramashe. Now, Xola must follow. Guys, Coach KP, you at the stadium. How did you see the game?
Nadim, it was nice being back at the Loftus Stadium. Hey, it's been a while because we're busy with AFCON. But you just touched on, let's get straight into the game. You just touched on Ramashe. Yeah, experience really counts. I mean, there's some things you can't buy. But I don't know if it was the 17th minute. He almost cost them a goal because he was too comfortable with the ball. But luckily, he won it back. For me, I think it wasn't as obvious as you are saying it was, because when one saw the starting line of Mamelodi Sundowns, I just saw from the first goal that, you know what, this is going to be a positional football where Sundowns will just move the ball around to the left, right. I mean, if you have Blesser and Jaden Adams, you know for sure that position will be kept. So my disappointment, Nadim and Tenten, is the goalkeeper of Orbit College. You don't give away such goals, especially if you're playing against Mamelodi Sundowns. You're already starting with a mountain to climb. So for him to give such a goal, it was just a disaster. I think it was one of those things where you can say a confidence breaker, because Nadim, if you're playing against the likes of Mamelodi Sundowns, every minute you go into and not conceding, you're starting to build confidence. So to give away such a cheap goal, I think it was costly, totally costly for the team on the Orbit side. I don't know how Dola saw it on the Orbit side, but for me, I think the keeper there, I mean, it throws away even your plan as a coach. If you are saying let's push until halftime to get to 0-0, and then we'll come up with a second plan or a plan B, and then you give away such a team, now you've got two mountains to climb. So I think the keeper needs to take that one.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The keeper should have done better. I mean, I was speaking to Mshengi. That was lack of academy. You can see that development is important. You can see a goalkeeper that didn't go to a development. You just hit the ball. Rather put it sideways. I'm not a goalkeeper, but you can see that yeah, maybe Coach KP must also have a goalkeeper academies and train goalkeepers, the basics. When you have the
Even
ball,
though
what to do with it.
I don't think that needs a positional coaching. Those are just basics. 10-10 will tell us. Even at professional level, they say if you're under pressure, if you need to kick it to throw it, kick it there. Why force it straight? Kick it to the side. Let's regroup. But 10-10 with a better expertise that maybe is needed there at OBT, he can tell us. Or what does he think of that?
Yeah, 10-10, you can tell us what is needed and also what impressed you about this Sundowns team. We know they won, they're on top of the log.
Yeah, Nadim, yeah, Coach KB. I think, to be honest, with me, it was interesting to see a different starting lineup for Mamelodi Sundowns. One, you see Alendo on the bench. You see Debs are not available for the game. You see Mudau not available. There's a lot of rotation. Looking at Adams being back, Mkhulise as well. It was very interesting. You see Zwane on the bench coming in to make a difference, to control the game temperament. So the mistake done by the goalkeeper, I think it was a proper planning for Mamelodi Sundowns. If you look at it, Usales was always putting pressure. Whenever the goalkeeper is putting the ball down, it seems as if like they had pre-planned it to try and put the pressure. He nearly caught him in the second half as well. But I think Orbit started pretty well, to be honest. I can give it to them. It was just unfortunate with the lights that disrupted the momentum. After that, Yonke into went sideways. So I think that was too costly for them. And for a goalkeeper to make such a mistake, it can happen to anyone. It's just unfortunate. At the end of the day, it had to happen to him. If not him, who then? But it was an expected win for Mamelodi Sundowns, looking at the experience that they have, the quality versus the quality that Orbit has. You don't expect Mamelodi Sundowns to be dropping points at this crucial time of the season. I mean, Orlando Pirates are 2 games behind Mamelodi Sundowns with a goal difference which is closely like to be. So it's a very, very critical time of the season, and Mamelodi Sundowns are seemingly as if like they've started on the right foot and they want to go all out.
Coach, what's your take about that? That the Sundowns defense also, it looks like we see Grant Kekana. Immediately I saw
Yeah.
him the way he played. I felt that Bafana should have included him for that kind of experience. But at the same time, then you see a player like Damani not starting while he was playing every game at TS Galaxy. Then again, that's what we are complaining about. That Sundowns buy national team players and put them in the stands. What's your take, Coach, about the defense of Sundowns? Did he impress you?
Well, look, man, there was not much for Grant to deal with. There was really not much for Sundowns defense to deal with. But also, you cannot take away the fact that, like what you just mentioned, experience, Nadim. You can't buy experience. I mean, he has showed they've guided the youngster Usibiya. For me, man of the match. Will get into him. But you can see even the player playing next to him, or who's this guy? The right center back. I'm forgetting Keegan Johannes. You can see with him playing
Yeah,
closer
Kylian
to
Johannes,
Grand,
yeah.
Keegan Johannes playing closer to Grand Kekana, that he's comfortable with him. He's comfortable to move around, to move it up and down. Yes, there's a bit of mistakes or a bit of rustiness from Keegan Johannes, but Grand Kekana's experience was there. Well, he also made a few mistakes here and there, but then you cannot buy experience. You cannot, and he always proves it. As to whether he was needed in the national team, it's very easy for us to say he was needed. Maybe he was gonna do better, but you'll never know with such stuff, Nadim. You bring that kind of experience, maybe it's worse, or you bring him and then he does better. So, unfortunately, it costed us. He was not there, and we need to allow it. But touching onto the basic of who's this Ndaimane. I think we let's not rush him, Nadim. Let's not rush him. Yes, he's a left-footed center back, but do you now, because you went out to sign an international, do you now force him straight into the lineup, or do you gradually introduce him? I think it would be fair to gradually introduce the boy
No,
so that he can understand.
you play
Yes.
him straight to the lineup. You can
Why?
play him
Why is
straight to
that
the
so?
lineup because he's already been playing regular in the PSL. He's a Bafana International. It's not like he's not familiar with the league and all those kind of things.
Yeah,
Because
but you
with
need to
defenders,
understand, Nadim.
it's
Yes,
difficult to
Nadim. Sorry.
substitute defenders in the middle of the game. Yeah.
True, but you need to also understand that you are bringing him into which team? He was playing at TS Galaxy. There's a certain system that Sundowns plays. There's a certain way that Sundowns play and how they keep the ball, and that's not the same that what TS Galaxy was doing. So I think he will get his chance. He just needs to stay there and wait for his chance, and when it comes, he must grab it. He's the only left-footed center back they have after Umusalibusa has left. So he will get his chance to play, man. And then just before we go on to Ugola, you touched on the young boy, Usibi. That was marvelous to watch. I think the boy has something. There's something special about him. I mean, he won all his jewels, Nadim. I was counting them. I saw even I think around the
Mm.
50th, there was a time where now, instead of a winger taking him on, it's like they were scared of the young boy. He's pacey,
Mm.
he's bulky, he's strong, he's comfortable on the boy. I think Sundowns has
Mm.
got a future replacement for Mudiba. His quality, and you can see what he just delivered a cross where he got his first debut and also his first assist, going straight to the debutant to score his goal. So I think the boy played very well. He impressed me. But before we move on, sorry, Golaman, before I bring Gola in, there's something I saw about Jaden Adams, Golaman. I don't understand. Well, they call him master of spacing, or I call him master of spacing. That guy's marvelous to watch, Nadim. I saw he plays 2 touch, 3 touches too many. There's a minute where on the 34th minute, where he just opened groin half turn, played simple, no extra touch needed. And this is what I always complain about South Africans, that sometimes you don't even need to play 3 touch. If it allows you to play 1 touch, do it. If it allows you to play 2 touch, do it. And I think that's what separates the average players and the best. And for me, Jaden Adams played extremely well, man. Him and Mukulisi, they kept the ball very well. They kept the shape. Sundowns was on, I don't know if that's Piano and Shusha and that always supporters cry about, but it was marvelous to watch Sundowns play today.
Yeah, the only disappointing about Sundowns was that their fans, they only insult us on social media. They were not there at the stadium again. It was not even half full. 10-10, what's your assessment on the Sundowns team? Surely the way they play, the league is going to go down to the wire.
Definitely, Nadim. The league is going to go, maybe, if I'm not mistaken, I'd say I'd give it to the last two games or three, in my opinion. Watching at this Sundowns team, it shows the quality that they have and the depth, having Jaden Adams back and the confidence that he comes back with. I don't know whether it's a change of hairstyle or it's a change of fortune or it's a new year. But it's still the same Jaden Adams. He's comfortable. He plays as simple as you like,
Yeah.
and having to have a midfielder that can break the line. Look at the ball he almost scored, where Kulisa played a lofted pass and Jaden one touch finish, and he hit the side pole. You see the quality that they have in the team. Can you imagine if all the players are in form? They did not have Obas, who's a national team player. They did not have Umrembola, but they did not worry. They even went on to put on Allende on the bench. You look at the left back position, they did not have Umudiba. They introduced a young boy in Nusibia. They did not have a right-footed centre back that they normally play with in Cupido. They played who's this boy who's a right back, but they slotted him in the center. Johannes.
Yeah.
Which for me was surprisingly to see them playing Johannes as a center back, because they still had that other one on the bench. I thought they were gonna start with him and Ukekana, but surprisingly I saw them starting with Johannes, And with the young boy, he's a very marvel to watch. I was impressed as how he took his debut. He did very well. But for Mina, I don't want to give too much confidence, man, until it is proven, Maybe it's just that I am too harsh and I'm too critical when it comes to certain instances. I feel I want to see him being tested before I could say. At first, I'm going to say he's a brilliant player to watch. He's proven that. But is he going to cope playing against the likes of our police? Is he going to cope playing against other players that are determined as he is? Because they did not really give him a challenge, Obi. We have to give that. Like Coach KB has alluded to, saying at some point he feels as if like they were scared at him because of the confidence that he possesses, how he was winning, dribbling forward, which I like seeing in the youngsters. But let's wait a bit and see if he's going to continue. What I appreciate and like the most is consistency in players. Then we can say South Africa has a new left back on the ropes, because they opted to go with that boy over Opasadine. It says a lot. They bought Opasadine for Mr. Stellenbosch, and the boy comes from the DDC. And Opasadine was sitting on the bench, and the young boy was playing. So it's kudos to the young boy. He deserves the man of the match, no doubt.
It's very clear that today. It's very clear that today. It's also to interrupt you. It's very clear that they bought Pasadine to interrupt competition. They didn't want Chiefs and Pirates to have Pasadine. For them to even give a 19-year-old a first start while Pasadine, a Bafana International is there. For me, it's very clear that they never needed Pasadine. Honestly speaking, I'm not trying to be funny. It's very clear.
Nadim, I know you don't like being on the fence, so I'm gonna ask you a question while I'm on the fence. Don't you think maybe with Basadine, maybe it's a matter of a system play, because the boy has been playing at DDC Sundowns, so he knows how Mamelodi Sundowns plays. What do you think, or let me pose this question to you: what do you think the boy possessed that Basadine couldn't give them, that they had to start the young man over him, and he impressed on his game? We've seen Basadine was given
No,
a
there's
chance. I
nothing.
think they played 2 or 3.
Pasadine is a top left back. The only thing that made him start ahead of Pasadine is favoritism. Pasadine is a top left back. We've seen it many times. Tested against winning trophies, even the culling, beating Chiefs, beating Pirates, beating even at one point in time Sundowns. Stellenbosch, they knocked out Sundowns last year in the MTN 80s. Home and away, Sundowns couldn't score. Pasadine was brilliant. For me, nothing. I saw nothing. Nothing that tells me this boy is better than Pasadine. Yes, he's a talented player and all those kind of things.
Yeah, if I can come in that point, Nadim, I'm sorry to interrupt you. The sad reality is that Pasadine has been with Sundowns for half a season now, And yes, the boy has been in DDC, which is a different competition level when it comes to the Premier League. But for me, now I say, and always in big teams, sometimes you only get one opportunity to make your foot right. And Pasadini has gotten that opportunity, and he did not start well. So the young boy has been given the opportunity. He set the foot on his ground. So let's give it to the boy and not try to put in a favoritism and all of those things. Because in most cases, with big team, you don't start well. They give the other person an opportunity. He takes it with both hands. We overlook you in most cases, you know. So let's wait until the boy makes a mistake, or whether when the boy maybe does not have the confidence that he had in this game. Umudiba is also yet to come back. I think maybe they did not start them. They rested them based
So
on
that's the
maybe
problem,
they did
Kola.
enough.
I don't remember Pasatini's first game was played as a right back against Chippa United, then was taken off at halftime. I honestly don't think he has been given a chance at Sundowns. So I don't think he has been given a chance because he's a top left back. Even Hugo
He
Bruce
is.
was
He
rating him
is.
highly.
Maybe he's a
For
top
them,
maybe he's a
yeah.
top left back in a wrong team. Sometimes also that has an influence because we can go back and looking at other players. Umurena. Umurena was once played as a left back at Mamelodi Sundowns. There was no complaint. People were marveled to watch him play as a left-footed, as a left back with a lopsided foot, you know. So we don't know how your opportunity comes, but as it comes, you have to grab it. As a professional, I think it's just as the basics. The same way as Coach KP has said when he was watching Morocco, saying he was surprised that the Manchester United fullback was taken from the right back when Hakimi came back to be put on the left. So you can plan, but God decides. If Unkulunkulu says to you, Nadine, this is the opportunity I'm going to warrant you it at, you have to grab it. You can't make excuses and then say, I want to play left back. They say, Umudima is on form. We saw an opportunity for you to start playing. Go in as a right back. We don't have right backs. Umkulise. Uvovai, like Coach KB is calling him. He wasn't part of the team when the season started. They said he has an opportunity. But what happened? Now we have to come back and make excuses and say, no, he was being played on the wrong side of his comfortability. Sometimes you have to take what's been given and make the best out of it.
No, Ten, you're right. I mean, you've been there, you're a former player, you know better than me, so I can't really disagree on that. Guys, as we wrap this thing, we saw the coach of Sundowns obviously on the bench. There've been a lot of reports that the coach will be fired, and Pitso Mosimane, the former Bafana coach and Sundowns coach, as well as Ali, has agreed to join Sundowns. Guys, from what I see, let me just start with my opinion in that matter. I think it's nonsense that Pito's joining Sundowns. I think it's a lie that has been started by people. I don't know for whatever reasons. Either maybe they want Pito back at Sundowns because we're hearing that Saleng was signed by Pito. That was a lie that was purported by Junior Kanye. And then there's also a lies by Soccer Beat, Peter Pitot, the master of gossip in South African football, when he said Pito has agreed a deal with Sundowns. Again, it was a lie. For me, I saw Flemingberg on there. I saw Ugesh. I saw Trot Moloto. Obviously, they were sitting with Salmon Kalu and Tian Mabunda. Pito will not want to work with some of those people, namely the sporting director Flemingberg. Even Trot Moroto. Pito will not want to work with him. Pito, he wants a project where he will be in control of everything. He signs players. He decides who goes, who comes in, who's promoted, who's put on loan, and all those kind of things. The way I look at the Sundown structure, I don't see how Pitso will be accommodated. Even if it was true that Pitso is coming, but the coach is still there. How can he coach when the coach is still there? And it looks like the coach, obviously. It does, for me, the way he started the lineup, I agree with Coach KP. It looked like Sundowns in the way giving test to the players, young players. It looked like a weekend side. A coach who's under pressure to lose his job will just play the best players available. Will not do that. What's your take, gentlemen, about the matter? Do you think Pitts will join Sundowns? What's your assessment? Also, I know for a fact that Pitso, when he joined Ali, he signed a contract with Sundowns. Then 2 months later, immediately signed a contract. Sundowns paid his wife, who's Pitso's agent, 8 million rand. Once that money was paid, 2 months later, Pitso flew out of the country to Cairo to sign with Ali. Sundowns demanded the money immediately. That okay? You broke the promise. We gave you the signing on fee of 8 million so that you stay with us for the next 4 or 5 years. But now, since you signed the contract, you opted to break it. We demanded them 8 million back. Pitso refused. The matter went to court. The final verdict earlier this year, I mean, beginning of January, the court ruled that Pitso's wife or Pitso Mosimane, they must pay back Sundowns 10 million. Obviously, last week on the 14th, the matter went to Johannesburg High Court for appealing. The wife was appealing the case because she was saying a lot of things that no, they wanted to pay back the money because she's a black woman. No, it's not because you're a black woman. It's because you took 8 million from Sundowns. Then your client went to join another team. It's very simple and straightforward. People like using this black woman and what. It's not about being a black woman. You're a football agent because you are good. You are representing the best coach, one of the best coaches ever in South Africa because we are a good agent. I believe you're a good agent, not because you are Pitso's wife. So, guys, what's your take? That's my take on the matter. Starting with you, 10-10, and then coach.
Yeah, I think I'm the right person to start because Coach KB is working with Coach Pitso at that school of theirs, But I think, in my opinion, Nadim, allegedly Coach Pitso has agreed terms with Mamelodi Sundowns. It would be a surprise for me to see him go back to Mamelodi Sundowns, looking at how he.
10-10, Coach KP come in. I'm struggling to hear 10-10 at all. What's your take about this meter 10-10? I just gave you a brief background if you're not aware. Your opinion, do you see, you were at the stadium today. Do you think the coach he might leave and Pitso coming in?
Well, looking like I said in the beginning, looking at the starting lineup that came up, it doesn't look like Coach Cardoso is under pressure of anything. The only thing that he might be under pressure of is the log, because this is the first time you see Mamelodi Sundowns sitting on 14 games under 30 points. They've got 2 games ahead of Mamelodi Orlando Pirates, but with 1 point. So that's the only pressure that I feel he looks like he's feeling. But other than that, I don't think he has anything. And also, like I said before, for me, it's a bit unfair for Dr. Pitso Mosimane to come, if he did, but I didn't hear him coming out and saying anything. So it's a bit unfair for the media to come out and linking him back to Mamelodi Sundowns. Why? Because Mamelodi Sundowns does have a coach. There's a coach there. So if I'm a coach and somebody else is linking 10-10 with my job, for me it's a line of disrespect, which I think it needs to be protected by all means. So I honestly, currently, I don't see Dr. Mosimane going back to Mamelodi Sundowns, especially not this season. But one thing that I've learned about life and soccer, Nadim, is in football, there's never such a thing that it will never happen. So currently, yes, we know there's courts that are going up and down. Hopefully they manage to settle this thing out, because it's not a good image, in my own opinion. It's not a good image for the greatest coach that we have in South Africa, and as well as the doctor himself and his camp. So I hope they can manage this and sort this out as soon as possible, because it's not a great image, either both for the club and the coach himself. Because Nadim, as much as this speculation are going up and down, you and I cannot deny the fact that this is one of the most decorated coaches we have in South Africa. Somebody whom we know, he did say when he left Mamelodi Sundowns that he knows where he left the trophy. So if you want him to go get it, he will go get it for you. So for his sake and the football Mamelodi Sundowns club's sake, I hope they can settle this as soon as possible, so that we can move on. It's not nice reading about the Dr. Mosimane and him and court. It's not nice. I saw there was is it Daily Sun or what? There's an article that came out where there were death threats. It's not good for the image. It's not either both camps. So I hope they can manage to find the common ground and fight and close it off. But I'm telling you this, in football, you will never say never. Anything can happen. They can settle out, and then once they're done, who knows? They might even come back to see Mamelodi Sundowns and Pitso reuniting, but not this season. That's me.
Yeah, no, definitely in football, you never know if they solve it out. But I think it can happen in future. Coach, I agree with you, but not now. To say Pitso now is going to Sundowns is nonsense. It's a lie. While there's court cases, the matter is in court. It, for me, it doesn't even make sense. We're fighting you in court. You pay back us the money. Okay, want to employ you. So that is a lie, but it can happen in future. No one knows
Yeah,
because obviously
definitely.
relationship get broken and be repaired. 1010, we couldn't hear you at first. Hopefully we can hear you better now.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, 1010. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying, in my opinion, I don't see Coach Pitso going back to Mamelodi Sundowns anytime soon because there's an ongoing case. Unless maybe that case is part of the deal. But to my surprise, Mamelodi Sundowns coach, how he started the season, even involving young stars, it doesn't seem like a person who's threatened to lose his job. You know, he looks like a person who's confident to saying, I'm still here, I'm employed, I don't care with the noise that's happening,
Mm.
but I am still here. So it would be a shock. Like you guys have already said, anything is possible in football. Who knows? Maybe in our surprise, we might see Coach Pitso reuniting with Mamelodi Sundowns because, like they always say, indaba zabantu abayi-two azingeno. You know, always to akafuneki.
Mm.
So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it wouldn't be a shock because there's an ongoing case that hasn't been resolved as yet. You know, I mean, nobody saw the movement Yaga Saling apart from you mentioning it the previous time, but now it came as a surprise. Like we saying, boom, of Chigi Chigi. We saying sitting here, no, it will never happen, nani. And then next week they announce Coach Pitso Mosimane as the head coach. You know, so we will see until maybe Coach Pitso says something because I haven't seen anything from the publications, him coming or the socials putting anything concerning this matter. So as it is, I don't see it happening anytime soon. If it is
I
to
think it
happen.
does want to go to. I think it does want to go to Sundowns, but as Coach KP is saying correctly, he has not publicly said, I want to go back. But from what I hear from people in his inner circle, because some of them they talk, he does want to go back. If the Sundowns move fail, he wants to coach the national team. Those are the two jobs. The national team
But
already has
Nadim,
said it publicly.
Nadim, I think also you'd love to go back. I mean, that's the team he had most success. That's the team he made his name to be recognizable continentally and everywhere that we know him. He could have won certain trophies with Al Ahly, but how did Al Ahly get to recognize Coach Pitso Mosimane? It was at Sundowns. So there's no better place like home. So I feel like Mamelodi Sundowns has been home to him. So if he wants to go back to Mamelodi Sundowns, that would be the right place to go back to. And for him going to the national team as yet, they've already stated the fact that they are continuing with Coach Hugo Bruce. I mean, there's no time enough to integrate a new coach who's going to. But in South Africa as well, anything is possible. They've once let go of Pereira, and before the World Cup started, they introduced a new one who was his friend. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Nothing is
But do
permanent.
you think, 1010, while on that point, do you think Pitso can work with Flemingbeck as a sporting director?
I don't know much about Flemingbeck, you know, but from what I've been hearing and what I've heard, the type of coach Pitso is, I don't think they can make a good pair. I highly doubt that would be possible.
Exactly, that's my point. For Peter to come back Sundowns, Flemingbeck needs to leave. The coach needs to leave. The whole entourage of Flemingbeck, the guys who are assisting him from Stellenbosch, the guys in the development, he needs to leave. Then Pizzo can come back because Pizzo also wants to work with his own people. He wants a project. That is the reason why he's not at Orlando Pirates or Kaizer Chiefs. Because with Kaizer Chiefs, they're not going to allow you to bring your all entourage. Okay, they did with Nab. Maybe they can. At Orlando Pirates, I know they're not going to allow you to bring your all people, even this guy. That's why it looked like a match made in heaven. Oh, Ado Apitisalom. He comes alone with his suitcase. He works well with the guys, Jacobs, Mandla Ngigazi, the technical team that he found there. And he's doing well. He's already won 3 trophies, as Coach KP will say. He might win the league. He might win the Champions League. Coach KP, that's the last one before we wrap, guys. Do you think he can work with Flemingbeck, Dr. Pitso Mosimane, as you want us to say?
Yeah, he's a doctor. Let us not undermine that. No, not everyone carries that doctorate, so we need to give it to him.
No, in
Look,
football,
Nadim,
remember in football we call him coach. So I'm trying to
yeah, but
adjust the coach. I'm not disrespecting his accolades that he's
yeah,
in fact a doctor
so
from, yeah. He was
as long
honored
as
by
we
University of
acknowledge,
Johannesburg.
Yeah, look,
Oh,
Nadim,
definitely,
in football,
definitely, definitely,
in football,
definitely.
I'll repeat this. In football, anything is possible. If the doctor Pitso Mosimane or Doctor Coach Pitso Mosimane wants to go back to Mamelodi Sundowns, and Mamelodi Sundowns says, "Well, Flemingberg is not going away anywhere." If both of them want to work under Mamelodi Sundowns, they'll make it work. I mean, there's nothing. You and I, Nadim, we met somewhere. We had to make
No,
things
I
work.
disagree with you.
No,
Flemingberg couldn't work with Rulani.
wait.
Flemingberg
Wait,
couldn't
listen
work
to
with
this.
Rulani. Do you know Rulani? I've met
Yeah,
Rulani. Kola knows Rulani. Rulani is a bit humble than Pitso. He couldn't work with Rulani. He can't work with Pitso at all. I
but
disagree with you straightforward. It's not true.
so
Never.
if from what you are saying, then they can work together, then it is. You know, I was saying to you, there's
If you
never a
cannot
time
work with
where I
Rulani,
thought,
remember Rulani is a very humble person. It's different from Pitso's character. Rulani is a
I
guy who
don't know his guy.
accommodates everyone. Even at SAPC, I worked with Rulani. I know him personally. Very humble person. And
I don't know
he's
his
very smart,
character.
top coach, but it's always, if you can't work with Rulani, I don't think so.
You don't think he'll work with Peter, so maybe you know the
I
better.
don't think so.
I
If
don't
you
know
can't work
the
with Rulani,
character.
Rulani is one of the most humble people you can find.
No,
You know
I hear
Rulani.
you.
If he fails to work with Rulani, do you think he can work with Pete?
I don't know
That's why I
Rulane's
said
character, so I can't judge on
from
that. I don't know his character.
that's why Nadim, that's why I
Coach,
said
10-10. You know
from
Rulani's character.
yeah, I know him very well.
Well,
So
yeah.
like I said, Nadim.
Yeah, continue. Don't say you know him very well. Continue and say,
No, yeah,
do you
I
think
know him
having
very
failed
well.
Fleming to work with Rulani can?
I know him very well. One of the intelligent coaches you can think of. I mean, down to earth. He's a people's person, not a people's pleaser, though, you know. But like I said, looking at and hearing as to how Coach Pitso operates and how he works and how Flemingbeck works, it would be two bulls in one kraal. It will never function, Nadim. I don't think it will make sense
No, it
because
will never. Because
yeah, one will have to lose his characteristics to accommodate the others. At some point, one will explode. So I don't see it happening. Or probably we can see it happening, but I don't see it working for both of them.
one thing, guys, as we rep at Orlando Stadium, I think they were celebrating 65 or 75 anniversary. Pitso Mosimane was wearing a black suit of Orlando Pirates. Immediately when he was fired as Bafana coach, he was meant to take over as Orlando Pirates coach. What I've heard is that he couldn't work with people who were there at Pirates at that time. And namely Stanley Skrima Shabalala. He failed him. One of the kindest guy, very guy, a person who's like really, really a man of the people. But Pitso couldn't work with him. That's the reason that deal fell off. He was very close in joining Pirates. I think
How
Pitso, in
many
all
years ago is
honesty, he
this,
just
Nadim?
wants. I think
How
it's 2012. Immediately when he was fired for as a Bafana coach.
so you don't think that as much as now he has just given the dog trade and all this, there's a bit of growth in him. There's a bit of maybe maturity in
That's the
him.
problem. Then Pitso was just fired by Bafana coach. He has never won a Champions League. He has never won a league title. Now he has won 3 Champions League. He has won more than 7 league titles. Forget, it's not going to happen. Now he has become so successful. Now he's a multi-millionaire. He has made so much money in football. He's got a school of something. Now he has become so successful. Now he wants to call the shots. Now he is one of the person who say, if you want me, give me a project, let me decide. Peter's been saying that in all honesty, even told Andy on Metro FM, I'm willing to listen to someone who's gonna give me a project. And the project I come with my team. That is not negotiable. Hence, he cannot go to Chiefs or Orlando Pirates up until Chiefs bow down to his demands. Orlando Pirates, maybe if they want him, but now they've got the best coach. I don't think they can want to have Pitso Mosimane. Even Sundowns, I think the guy took them to the Champions League for the first time in 9 years. Champions League final. So I think the guy is doing well in all honesty. The guy is they just won the league also with very impressive results. Sundowns only lost 1 game in the league. Sure, they didn't win any trophy so far. I don't think the coach is doing that bad as people want to think. So the whole thing of Pitso being linked to Sundowns, I just think is gossip.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
think well, Nadim, media is there for a reason. Media is there to push propaganda, and media is there to make sure that people are entertained. So let's maybe they've got the source, maybe they've got the right source. You and I don't have it as yet. We might be crushing that might be happening. So you'll never know. Like Utola said, who saw the selling move? Some people were happy that he's back
No,
at
I saw
Pirates. All of a
it.
sudden, he's at
I
Sundowns.
saw it. I did
But you
say he's
never
going to
mentioned it.
Sundowns. I knew. No, I
Okay.
did. I did.
So you just did
I
not
did
tell us.
say. I did say on another podcast I was part of that he
You
signed
should
a
have told me
pre-contract
in
with Sundowns.
10:10.
No, I
You
remember
should
that.
have told me in
Remember
10:10
No,
so that we
I
break
said
the
it
news.
on a podcast. I said it on a podcast. I created a podcast. Go and check it.
Okay,
You
let's move
understand?
on. Nadim.
Okay, guys, as we wrap, guys. I mean, we saw African football, new champions being crowned Senegal. The big story is not that Senegal won; is that their goal was disallowed, and then they got a penalty. Morocco, obviously, they walked out. What's your take about that incident? Just guys, be brief on it before we wrap up. I'm interested to know opinion because when it comes to me, I'll
Don't
say
keep
after
your
you guys.
no, keep your
As an African,
Dollar, go
man,
ahead.
an African for me now. As an African, it doesn't look good on the leadership of our football. That's the starting point that I have. It doesn't look good. This is one of our biggest tournament in the continent, and to have it having so much drama, it's very bad for our football image. That's one. But what has been happening to Senegal, I'm not proud how they've been treated. The places that they were sent to train so that Morocco can have the visuals of how they are planning and preparing for the final. It's so bad. And even in the AFCON, uh, there's been so many complaints, the referees' decisions. I feel Uti Senegal were supposed to be awarded that goal before the end of the game, and it was just unfortunate. Yes, it's a light penalty, so it may seem, but it was a penalty. Maybe if they had awarded Senegal that goal and the game continued and played, Morocco could have equalized, and we don't know what could have happened. But how Senegal have been treated prior to this final happening, Mena, I was not pleased. And for our football image as well, it's so it leaves a bitter taste, man, in the mouth. I don't want to see such stories. Yes, we can have this and that about the officiating because it happened all around the world. Even in the Champions League, UEFA, it happens. But I feel for me now, the North Americans, they are bullies and they've been dominating and they've been let go of such treatments. Whether you play in the CAF Champions League, such treatments they happen, and no one has said anything or they never been reprimanded for such behaviors. And it was good for Senegal wanting to leave, but it wasn't gonna be a good image if it had ended like that. And I'm so proud that Mani ended up standing his ground and calling his team back. To finally finish playing in the AFCON. Like he said, it's his last AFCON, and he won two of them already. It shows the great leadership that he possesses.
No, I concur with you, Kola. I honestly thought they were being ill-treated by Morocco. Morocco are better host. I watch almost every game of this AFCON, especially of Morocco. I watch all their games. I felt the referee was supporting them from the first game. They've been assisted by referees all the way. Even I think it's Sudan. Sudan. I think he should have gotten a penalty. I'm not sure if it's Sudan or Tanzania. Should have gotten a penalty. They didn't get. And honestly, even against Cameroon, Samuel Eto'o, as we speak, has been fined $20,000 and banned for 4 matches because he complained about the favoritism where Cameroon also were not being treated well against Morocco. I thought maybe the referees, I don't know, they wanted Morocco to win the AFCON. For whatever reasons, it looked like a campaign that it failed. I mean, I saw a post on Facebook, someone saying Morocco came with a referee and then Senegal came with God. Coach KP, what's your take on it?
Nadim, I think you guys have killed it all, man. It's the only bad thing is the image of African football. That's all. But I agree with almost everything that you guys have said, man. If for me, I would challenge our president to say, sit down with your committee, go look at all these games. You've got the time. If you have to hire people, go. Let's see how many more mistakes were done in favor of Morocco. I mean, WAFCON is going to Morocco. With what we saw, they don't deserve to be hosting anything for me. I mean, you see them busy fighting for towels of the goalkeepers. Like, well, what do you call that? So for me, you start with this AFCON that is coming
No, they
up.
are very evil
WAFCON.
country. They are evil, those
Yeah,
people.
they're
They
so
are
bad.
bad. They are
They're
bad
bad.
people. They are
So
taking
you,
towels. I mean, it's raining, but the goalkeeper sweating, cannot even wipe his face. Those people are bad people, Morocco. Yeah.
yeah. So
I'm happy
I
that they
think
didn't win.
the best thing for me, take away this WAFCON that is coming up. Like, stop ban them for 10 years not to host anything. I think that will send a message, not to drag it, man. Nadim. I think you guys have said almost everything, and we agree that was a bad hosting nation that they have done. You know, for me, in my closing, this is why I tell you always, Nadim. Europe needs Africa. You see, those Europeans, those people that were born in Europe, coming to play in Africa, this is what they do to us because they don't see us as brothers. So if it was up to me, I would even kick them out of the next AFCON. But yeah, a heavy fine is gonna come away for Senegal. That was not a great move. That was not a sporting move. I don't condone that, but you can understand their frustration
So
that
was
it
it
could
a
have been.
sporting move? Was it a sporting move? Was it a sporting move for to keep on taking their towels and all those kind of things?
It wasn't, but you don't do wrong with
I
wrong,
think it would
Nadim.
be
It's
wrong.
football. It's you
No,
know in
it will be
football.
wrong. CAF. CAF must
Yeah, but
start by finding Morocco. Morocco been bad.
I
It's been
agree.
bad.
I
This
agree.
tournament, this tournament was a bad advert for African football. It was poorly organized. There have been so many complaints about logistics. So many things need to improve because when you hear the CAF president, he always talk about millions. This 10 billion, 2 billion. But when it's come to organization, logistics, treating people with respect, treating all the teams with respect, honestly, it needs to improve. Because we have a
Yeah,
CAF president that is always talking about billions and billions. This money will increase. What about just treating the teams with respect, improving their refereeing? Because the refereeing was excellent in the last AFCON in Ivory Coast. Suddenly, African referees cannot referee. Thank you so much, guys. Your last words. Kaizer Chiefs obviously is playing today. Yeah, 10-10 and Coach KP.
well, for me, man, it would be I'm more interested in seeing Stellenbosch. I would love to see Mabasa there and Hodisang. I wonder what is it that Pirates and Sundowns are doing? Are they trying to save Stellenbosch from relegation? And I'm happy that Mabasa will play. I think he's gonna play his best football there. Kaizer Chiefs versus Golden Arrows is very interesting. With us having known that Chiefs won the last game, so it would be great to see Chiefs win in this game. Then it would push our Pirates to say Saturday because Chiefs and Sundowns won't be playing. They are playing Sikukuni. So it would be a great build-up if Chiefs to win this game. So yeah, thank God.
Nice one,
Yeah.
Coach KP. 10-10.
Definitely, Nadim, it would be good for South African football, having to have Mamelodi Sundowns opening with a winner, and if Kaizer Chiefs can open up with a winner. But Mina, I still stand on my ground and what I've always been said. I don't see this co-coaching working at Kaizer Chiefs. It's yet to be proven, but I would love to see Kaizer Chiefs coming out with numbers and pushing Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates, and they be there in and around the top four spot, pushing Sekhukhune as well, competing to go into the continental football as well, because they are there. Because there's no guarantee that they can win in Nedbank again. Yes, they won it, but no team has proven to consistently defend that title to go back and compete. But we are yet to see what happens at Stellenbosch. Also, we don't know until we see how Coach Gavin adapts there. We can only say much about it then.
No, Kaizer Chiefs must get a coach. 10-10. I agree with you. This co-coaching, I also don't see it work. I've
Hey,
never
wait,
seen it work.
wait. Sorry to interrupt you. Wait. There's only one coach. The other coach left at Kaizer Chiefs. And we just said, let's respect
Who?
people's
Which
job.
coach left?
Is
Who
it
Which
the
left?
coach
Kaiser?
left?
Is it the
Who
Kaiser
left?
or what? They checked it.
Who
No,
left?
But also, you must
Who
check.
no,
left?
they
The other
both
guy
left.
left. Is it Kaiser? You
No,
will
he
check
was
it.
not there
No,
There's
Chiefs
because
only
he
have
one
was
coach
two.
going
that's left.
he
No,
was
Chiefs
for
have
an
two
operation.
coaches.
They both
Yeah,
there,
but
my friend.
again, let's respect the fact that Chiefs has a coach. Let's stop saying Chiefs must go get a coach. Wait for the season. We just dealt with that
No,
now.
no,
With
no,
that.
We
no,
are
no,
not
no,
saying Kaizer
no.
Chiefs must get a
It's my
coach. We
opinion. You're
say
allowed. You're
Chiefs, they
allowed to
need
have
to
your own
appoint
opinion.
one
You're
as a
allowed.
head coach.
The co-coaching is not working. It
They
will
need to
not work.
appoint one head coach.
We
Yes,
hear you.
yes.
Okay, now I hear
You
you.
can
And
never
if they
have
can't appoint the
two
one who
bulls in one
one
kraal. I still refuse. Two bulls in one kraal, it can never work. They will always fight, even if they can make it as if like they balancing each other out. But I don't see it happening like that. There must be one leader who has his subordinates supporting him.
the thing as we close, guys. I've met Bob Mtong a couple of times. spoke to him for many hours with Andile and people in Melrose. The guy is very sharp. I can't believe that a guy like Bobby, they can make such a decision where they appoint two coaches to go. It doesn't even make sense what's happening at Nature. it's like, I don't know. It's like they want to make their fans feel the pain of losing. They want their fans to suffer. I don't know if it's deliberately because deep down they know it's not gonna work. They know deep down these two gentlemen, the interpreter and Ben Yusuf, are not gonna win the league. They know they're not gonna win any trophy. They know that there's nothing. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. This is NXL 360. Continue liking and subscribing and sharing our network. See you soon.
Cozy for life.